Hey, what's up guys? Rev here. Just when you thought things couldn't sink any lower, the English Vtuber community finds a way. And when it comes to their behavior on social media, the bar is currently set so low that it's practically teabagging the core of the earth. And yet, Vtubers always find new and exciting ways to embarrass and expose themselves through their tweets. Today's case is no different. I wouldn't even call this drama, it's more just cataloging the bizarre behavior of one Vtuber. And it begins with them wishing that another Vtuber gets swatted because of their problematic Vtuber design. And then they go on a whole moral grandstand about lollies. And when we look at their public Twitter likes, you can probably guess what we'll find. And then we'll end with the conclusion where this Vtuber backpedals and takes back everything they said in hopes that we all just forgot what happened. So a lot of events there, this whole timeline happening in the span of a few hours. So buckle up and let's take a ride down the latest VTweeter rabbit hole. So here's the main protagonist of today's story. Now I will begrudgingly censor their name because when it comes to smaller accounts like this, they like to play the victim when they're called out and help distract people away from the main issue, their own actions. So I'm going to call this VTuber Dingus. So it all began when Dingus, with a whopping 2 streams in the past year by the way, made this less than subtle subtweet stating, "Why the hell is there a lolly succubus floating around? Throw it away, burn it, kick it into the ravine. It just doesn't bode well." Given that many in the VTuber community already discuss about the pressure of engaging in not safe for work aspect. Now, the funny thing is that this tweet could apply to multiple VTubers. This lolly succubus theme is actually something a couple of VTubers had done, and ironically, all of them are wholesome. But I have a pretty good idea as to who they're referencing, the most recent example, and since they didn't name them, I don't want to drag that VTuber into this drama, but I have a pretty good idea of who it is. But grammatical errors aside, the message is clear. They're mad about lollies, and in particular, lolly succubus VTuber models, okay? But this next reply is an important setup for our climax. Now, I'll censor this person too. Let's call them Wingus. So Wingus replies with, "Be careful, they're effing rabid about defending them. I had to argue with a lolicon today and my stomach hurts from nausea because I saw something when I went to block people liking their tweets." Now this is funny for 2 reasons. Number 1, imagine going out of your way to voluntarily go to accounts you know belong to lolicons and then getting so upset by what you're seeing that you get physically ill. But the second part of this that is funny is, keep this in mind. This person is confiding with our main protagonist, Dingus, and they are sharing a bond over finding anything to do with lollies disgusting. Keep that in mind as we move forward. Which this will lead us now into the next reply, which is the money shot of this video. Our main protagonist, Dingus, replying with, "Succubi literally consume essence for energy and lollies are children. I hope they get swatted. Honestly." So, ignoring the fact, the less important aspect here that they clearly have the definition of lolly wrong, just like anyone else who complains about these things, the clear bottom line here is they are valuing the life of fictional characters over real lives. The impact of that fictional character design has more value than a human life and their safety. Many such cases. But in case you're not familiar with the term swatting, swatting is when you find out the address of someone or their personal information, and then you make a false call to the police and say something like they're killing someone or they're harming themselves. And basically, law enforcement in America is forced to respond to these calls, even if they seem like they might be made up. But what happens is they bring in a SWAT team with high-powered weapons, kicking down your door, and obviously, people who are not expecting this to happen, coupled with the whole situation, it's very dangerous. And in fact, there have been many documented cases of people dying, innocent people dying after being swatted through these false calls to the police. Okay, it's obviously a very big deal. You're risking someone's actual safety. And even if you walk out of a false swatting situation without a single scab on your skin, it is still a very traumatic experience. It's something nobody should have to go through. As any innocent person would have to go through. So they're saying that they're willing, or they're hoping this happens to someone over the design of their VTuber model. And it's hardly surprising that they would want to waste resources like this, given their other tweets relating to our main topic today, where they stated, I mean, it's fine if you have a small persona, because your OC could be a comfort character or simply a precious mascot. That's fine, but if I catch you being anything other than say-so or wholesome, I'm adding your ass to an FBI watch list. Yeah, I'm sure when you call the FBI, they will be begging you to stop wasting their resources, like they've gone on the record publicly and begged people to stop reporting over fictional content because they can't even act on it. But nonetheless, we're now entering the next chapter of this drama, the hypocrisy route. In later replies, Dingus would reply with, all I see in this thread are some people who defend a clearly vile interest that is usually the seed that is planted and something that disgusting sprouts. Lolly fetish is abhorrent, and more often than not, does not link to real people eventually. Their empathy is misplaced. Now, keeping this section in mind, all of their previous tweets, and also the people that they're communicating and siding with, clearly they think anything to do with lollies is absolutely disgusting, criminal, immoral, what have you. Okay? So, you guys know the drill. What's the next logical step to take here? Well, of course, let's check their public Twitter likes. And wouldn't you know it, you got sexualized lolly characters in their likes. Well, I'm sure that's not surprising to you, but I want to go on the record and say also, there's probably more. Their likes are extremely dense. They probably like 500 anime girl images a day. So it's kind of hard to scroll through. I got like carpal tunnel just scrolling through a few days. But yeah. Ironic. They're a hypocrite. And of course, as soon as this comes out, people notice that these are in their likes, besides the whole swatting comment. People are calling them out left and right. And this account is being put on full blast. You can see by the quote retweets of the swatting comment, and there was plenty of people sharing images of their likes, calling them a hypocrite, and they did the only thing that these people can ever do in these situations, and that's do the inevitable backpedal. Here's their whole backpedal. It is a long, light novel. You can read through it if you want, but the part that gets me, the part that really sits with me, is that their final quote, the end of their saga, is, I do not wish harm on anybody. Dingus doesn't want anyone to get hurt, except for the people they hope are swatted over their VTuber model. Yeah, what a mess. And again, this is your classic V-tweeter, like 2 streams in the last year, trying to watchdog the community, telling people what the VTuber community wants or will allow or won't allow. It's crazy. The ego is massive, but I hope this is a little story and a lesson for people out there of how you can really just tarnish your reputation within hours, literal hours. And I recommend, once again, if you're a person, if you're a VTuber who clearly doesn't know anything about the topic of lolly, lolicon, shota, or anything like that, stay out of it, because you're going to end up looking like this person. And nobody wants to support a person like this. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed this little trip down the VTweeter rabbit hole, and I'll see you guys next time.